Hey guys, well the Louisville pep rally is getting going behind me. The cheerleaders and the band have come out and they're entertaining the crowd. And this afternoon, actually, Bobby Petrino, kind of peppy for him, that is, at his press conference, the first time he's spoken out in public in weeks. And he addressed a number of topics, particularly those scary events that happened the night of the Heisman ceremony.
The winner is Lamar Jackson of the University of Louisville.
It went from a night of pure joy to a morning of fear and questions. 2 Louisville players injured in a shooting while celebrating Lamar Jackson winning the Heisman. And today, Bobby Petrino said he's thankful that nothing worse happened.
You know, that was something that was a tragedy, something that we talked to our team about, that we're very fortunate that we're not at a funeral right now, that both of them are healthy and have an opportunity to continue their career and get their degrees and do everything that they came to the University of Louisville to do.
Now the question is, how do you replace James Hearns, a guy who leads the team in sacks with 8 on the season?
Yeah, well, it's a loss to us. There's no question. James has been a great pass rusher for us. Henry's been a guy that provides a lot of depth and can play multiple positions. So we'll just have to make up for it with a couple different guys, you know.
I've always said injury kind of creates depth and it gives people opportunity. You know, it's just one of those next man up kind of attitudes you got to have as a team because things happen.
And Petrino made it clear guns are not something he will tolerate with regards to his team.
We do have a no guns policy. That's something, and we also have it on campus. So it's something that every player on our team knows, that you cannot have a gun and you cannot have it on campus. It's a crime to have a gun on campus, and you're dismissed from school immediately.
Now, Petrino also did say James Hearns' injury should be better by the time spring practice rolls around. He is expected to participate in those spring practices. However, from Aurora, no timeline on his injuries, guys. Bobby Petrino said he's still learning about those injuries as they come along. For now, reporting live with the Louisville Cardinals in Orlando, I'm Whitney Harding. Every day, Tyler Call has one basic question. How is your day today? I mean, it seems simple enough, right? But for Tyler, every single day is special because he knows that any second there could be no tomorrow. For the Bullet East Chargers, game time energy comes from an unexpected place. It comes from a young man who patrols the sidelines and always does so with a smile.
He's real energetic and he always seems to be more ready than the rest of the team. Kind of puts us in game mode and we're seeing how hype he's getting, and kind of helps us out there on the field.
I love football. That's my favorite sport.
What do you like so much about football?
Hanging out with my team. And they love me a lot, and I love them too.
For the last 3 years, 22-year-old Tyler Call has been a manager for the Bullet East football program.
He helps me with whatever I need him to do. If I ask him to help with the water cart over there, he will help us with that. If I ask him to help us with the jerseys, he's such a blessing to us.
And everyone who knows him will say he has a huge heart. Unfortunately for Tyler, that is all too true.
When he was about 2 weeks old, a pediatrician said there was a heart murmur and sent him to the heart doctor. Well, then the heart doctor said with the problem with his heart that he would have 10 or 12 open heart surgeries.
But 4 years later, the Calls would learn that surgery was not an option.
Found out he had a condition called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which also means he cannot ever be sewn up, so they can never do an open heart now.
On top of those challenges, Tyler also doesn't have cartilage in his body, so his bones rest and rub on each other, and they break easily.
You know, the biggest issue is, they can't fix him. Because the way they explain it, he can be walking across the floor and drop dead. There'll be no signs.
Doctors told the Calls that Tyler probably wouldn't live past 5 years old, but Susan and Dan refused to put their son in a bubble. On June 3rd this year, Tyler turned 22 years old, and even though he's graduated from Bullet East, he's still there every Friday night along the sidelines.
This school I cannot say enough about, so they didn't have to let him be part of this. They like him that much that they continue to let him be part of it. Yeah, and I don't know what he would be if he didn't have this. This gives him that reason to get up, to work through it. We're never promised tomorrow. And nobody is. If you have a handicap or if you don't have one. And you need to live each day to its fullest.
Whitney Harding, WHAS 11 News. Yeah, Wednesday night's a little bit different for this year, but there's one thing you can always expect. Of course, a great game, but also you can always expect the unexpected. Coming into this game every year, there's always one or two players that have really stood out for both teams, made their names on the big stage. But this game always comes down to the other guy, the unknown, someone that just shows up and takes over and makes this game their own. Last year in this game, that was Dominique Hawkins. The then junior had 13 points in the matchup against Louisville, and it wasn't just the number of points that he had in this game, it was when and how he made those shots. The Kentucky native, of course, this is a big game for him. Ice in his veins last season. Players and coaches say it's that kind of guy, the X factor, that is the hardest to prepare for because, well, you just can't.
We're in control, having a chance to win it until Hawkins really put a dagger in us.
Yeah, a couple of threes of a guy who never
it always works that way. Like somebody always steps up that you don't expect in a game, and you just don't know what to do about that.
He probably has a little edge that my other guys don't. Being from the state, being here, and being a Kentucky fan his whole life, I would imagine he's probably not a Louisville fan then. Not both. And so probably meant a little bit more, but he was great. He made shots, and he made daggers.
And guys, it needs to be mentioned that Isaiah Briscoe did not play in this game last year. He rolled his ankle in warm-ups. Yesterday, John Calipari said he wasn't sure if Briscoe got the Louisville flu or if he was really hurt last year, making a joke. But he also said that it's this kind of game, this kind of stage, that is exactly where Isaiah Briscoe shines. So maybe he will be the guy tonight. Coming up later at 6, Kent Spencer will join me here at the Yum Center, and we will start breaking down this matchup, including some big keys to the game. For now, reporting live at the KFC Yum Center, Whitney Harding, WHAS 11 News. Well, 20-year-old Samantha Kinchin said her family got into boxing thanks to her brother and the Rocky movie. She said that her brother loved the movie so much as a child that he wanted to box. She tagged along, sparred one time, and well, that was it. She now has her sights on the 2020 Olympics, and thanks to faith, she's already taking those steps towards making that dream a reality. Don't let this scene fool you. Samantha Kinchin is not a girly girl. She's simply a boxer with a lipstick problem.
I fight with my red lipstick. So I had a ref one time say, "Are you wearing lipstick?" And I was like, "Yes, sir." It's kind of a thing. If she smudges it, it's over. Everybody knows me from my lipstick.
But that's not all she's known for in the ring. Samantha is as fierce as her lipstick, one of the top boxers in the United States at her weight class. But despite all her success, something was missing to push her into that next level, and it began with her relationship with God.
I realized that I wasn't using it for His glory, and I really had never fully received Jesus into my heart. And last February 8th, 2015, I fully received Jesus. And then right after I got saved, like a month later, I got an email to be invited to be on Team USA.
Everything changed after that point. Samantha dropped 2 weight classes, started traveling from Lexington to James Doolan's gym here in Louisville 4 to 5 times a week. And then she competed in the Olympic trials, finishing 5th.
Her boxing used to be more of her identity. And then she, just radically gave her life to Jesus. And so now, she uses boxing as a platform to be able to share her faith.
Samantha did not qualify for the Olympics, but that did not sway her faith. Right now, she's actually in Rio working with the U.S. Olympic team as an assistant chaplain.
My role at this Olympics is not to compete physically. It's to go and fight for people's eternities. And so getting to compete, spiritually now and then getting groomed for 4 years, it's just, I can't believe it.
She'll be with the boxers. She'll be able to experience everything. And now she has a bigger goal to shoot for.
Well, it's just been really cool how Jesus has used the sport of boxing that I was using for myself, and He's completely turned it around. He's just given me back my passion so that I can use it for Him.